Hi students, good morning to all of you. Today we shall start first chapter of physics, class 10th, electricity. According to NCERT book, there are total 5 chapters. The first one is electricity, second one is magnetism. It further consists two parts, electromagnetism and electromagnetic induction. Third one is optics or light. It also consists further two parts, reflection and refraction. Fourth one is human eye and colorful world. And the fifth one is sources of energy. All these chapters are very important. We will cover all these chapters one by one in proper sequence. So let us see what is electricity. Dear students, in this period, I think human life is incomplete without electricity. Because electricity is very important as it has become a part of our life. Most of the things runs with electricity. There are so many gadgets inside our houses which runs with electricity. If there would have no electricity, then that gadgets are useless. We can't use that gadgets. As for example, mobiles. You all have mobiles inside your house. Without electricity, our mobile is perhaps useless. There are so many functions in mobile, and these all functions we can use if our battery is charged in mobile. Okay, it means that there are lot of uses of electricity. So let us see what is electricity. A phenomenon associated with a stationary or moving electric charge. A phenomenon associated with a stationary or moving electric charge is known as electricity. There are two types of electricity, static electricity and current electricity. How many types of electricity? There are two types of electricity, static electricity and current electricity. Current electricity, also known as dynamic electricity. Also known as dynamic electricity. So let us see what is a static electricity. Static means just constant, asthir, means the electricity in which electrons are at rest. So that is known as a static electricity. And the electricity in which electrons are in motion. So that is known as current electricity or dynamic electricity. Means in one word we can say the electricity in which electrons are at rest. But in current electricity, the electricity in which electrons are in motion. Okay. So you should keep this simple definition in your mind. Now, this electricity is related with term electric charge. So you should know what is electric charge. We know that matter is composed of atoms and molecules. Atoms and molecules. And atoms and molecules are further composed of three fundamental particles: electrons, protons and neutrons. Electrons have negative charge, protons have positive charge, and neutrons have no charge. Okay. It means that electric charge. What is electric charge? Then you should know electric charge is a fundamental property of matter. Electric charge is a fundamental property of matter, or electric charge, it is an intrinsic property of matter. It is an intrinsic property of matter, or you can say it is the property of matter. It is a property of electron or proton that give rise to electrostatic force between them. So that is known as electric charge. Okay. Electric charge, there are some important properties of electric charge. You should know the properties of electric charge. There are many properties of electric charge, but in class 10th you have to read some important properties. The first property is like charge repel each other and unlike charge attract each other. The first property is like charge. Like means similar. Similar charge means negative repel and positive also repel, but negative positive attract. Means like charge repel each other, unlike charge attract each other. Okay, this is the first property. The second one is electric charge does not depend on a speed or velocity. Means electric charge is independent of a speed or velocity. Okay. Next important property is that electric charge does not depend on velocity or a speed. Means if there will be electrons are in motion, then there will be no change in the magnitude of charge. Okay. Next one is the magnitude of elementary positive and negative charge carried by electron and proton is same. That is, the amount of charge possessed by an electron and proton is 1.6 into 10 to the inverse 19 coulomb. This is the magnitude of charge carried by an electron and proton. Okay. This is the next properties of electric charge. Electric charge is additive in nature. Next important property is electric charge is additive in nature. Additive means suppose here is 2 coulomb and here is minus 3 coulomb. If we want to calculate net charge, then simply we add this. Okay, then we will get a 2 coulomb and minus 3 coulomb, means 2 coulomb plus minus minus. Minus 3 coulomb means we will get minus 1 coulomb. This will be your answer. It means that simply the electric charge is additive in nature. Means by algebraic method, the 2 or 3 charge can be added directly. Okay. Next one is electric charge is quantized. Quantized means you can see here electric charge is denoted by letter Q, that is Q is equal to Ne and plus minus. Okay, here N for number of electron or positive integer, N for positive integer, that is number of electron. Quantized means when one body receives some charge from another body, then that charge must be the integral multiple of electron. Okay, means the body cannot acquire charge in fraction. The body always acquires charge in whole number, that is integer 1, 2, 3, means 2 coulomb, 3 coulomb, 4 coulomb. It cannot be in the form of 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 4. Okay, means the body always gains charge in integral form. Okay, integral form means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these all are the properties of charge. What are the properties of electric charge? Electric charge is additive in nature, means electric charge can be added algebraically. Okay, electric charge is quantized, that is Q is equal to Ne, N number of electron, that is positive, N for positive integers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, electric charge does not depend on a speed or velocity. Like charge repel each other and unlike charge attract each other. These are the important properties of charge. Okay, so we can define electric charge. Electric charge is a fundamental property of matter, or the additional property of electron or proton. The additional property of electron or proton that give rise to electrostatic force between them is known as electric charge. There are some important properties of electric charge. Electric charge is additive in nature. Electric charge is quantized. Electric charge does not depend on a speed or velocity. Like charge repel each other, unlike charge attract each other. These are the important properties of electric charge. The magnitude of charge carried by an electron and proton is 1.6 into 10 to the inverse 19 coulomb. You should remember this value. Okay, 1 electron is equal to 1.6 into 10 to the inverse 19 coulomb. Coulomb, the unit of electric charge. The SI unit of electric charge is coulomb. What is the SI unit of electric charge? Coulomb. What is the SI unit of electric charge? Coulomb. It is represented by letter capital C. Okay. The SI unit of electric charge is coulomb. It is represented by letter capital C. So just we have read what is electricity, types of electricity, what is electric charge, properties of electric charge, and unit of electric charge. You should know, you have read in standard 9 class, there are some physical quantity which are in vector form and there are some physical quantity which are in a scalar form. So you should see here, here electric charge. Electric charge is what type of quantity? Electric charge is a scalar quantity. Electric charge is a scalar quantity, not vector quantity. Okay, so you should keep this in your mind. Now we will read methods of charging body. So there are three methods of charging body: charging by friction or by rubbing, charging by conduction, and charging by induction. Okay, means there are three ways of charging body. Means we can charge body by three methods. The first one is by friction method, the second one is by conduction method, and the third one is by induction method. Okay, we will read all these method one by one in little brief. First one is friction or by rubbing. In this method, when two body rubbed together, then both the body get charged. One body acquire positive charge and another body acquire negative charge. Okay, as for example, a glass rod rubbed with silk. Glass rod when rubbed with silk. Glass rod when rubbed with silk, glass rod acquire positive charge and silk acquire negative charge. In the same way, amber. Amber is a substance that is obtained from tree like pine tree. It is a yellow resinous substance or a hardened sap of a tree. It was first of all, the electric charge first of all discovered by Greek philosopher Thales, who accidentally discovered electric charge. When he rubbed amber with wool, then the amber start attracting some tiny papers, dry leaves. Further, Thales took other materials and rubbed with suitable other materials, then other materials also start attracting. From then, electricity discovered. Okay, when amber rubbed with a woolen cloth, when amber rubbed with woolen cloth, okay, then amber gets negative charge and woolen cloth gets positive charge. Okay, ebonite rod when rubbed with fur, then ebonite rod gets negative charge and fur gets positive charge. In the same way, plastic comb which we use with our dry hair, rubbed with dry hair, then plastic comb acquires negative charge and dry hair acquires positive charge. So these all materials when rubbed with each other, then both the body acquires opposite charge. One acquire positive charge and another acquire negative charge. Okay, there may be some question in your mind that when glass rod rubbed with silk, then why glass rod acquire positive charge and silk acquire negative charge? It may be also that glass rod may also acquire negative charge and silk may acquire positive charge. It may be confusing question in your mind. Then see here, we know glass and silk both are matters. Okay, they are composed of atoms and molecules. Atoms consist electrons and protons. When glass rod rubbed with silk, then the electrons, you should see here, the electrons get transferred from glass rod to silk. Okay, the electrons get transferred from glass rod to silk. So electrons, due to the transfer of electrons, the number of electrons increases inside the atoms of silk. So silk acquire negative charge and glass rod acquire positive charge. In the same way, when amber rubbed with woolen, then from the woolen cloth, the electrons get transferred from woolen to amber. So woolen becomes positive charge and amber becomes negative charge. Means Due to the loss or gain of electrons, one body acquire positive charge and another body acquire negative charge. Okay. In the same way, ebonite rod rubbed with fur, ebonite rod becomes negative charge and fur becomes positive charge. Plastic comb rubbed with dry hair, plastic comb acquires negative charge and dry hair acquires positive charge. Okay. So there are some confusing questions in your mind that why do electrons get transferred from glass rod to silk? It may also get transferred from silk to glass rod. So electrons get transferred from glass rod to silk because electrons are loosely packed inside the atoms of glass rod, but the electrons are tightly or strongly held by the nucleus inside the atoms of silk. So electrons get transferred from glass rod to silk. In the same way, in amber, electrons are tightly held by the nucleus. In the same way, ebonite rod. In the same way, plastic comb. Means if the electrons are strongly held by the nucleus, then that electrons do not transfer. The loosely held electrons transferred from one body to another body. So one body acquires positive charge and another body acquires negative charge. You all have understood? So friction method, when one body is rubbed with another body, then one body develops positive charge, another body develops negative charge. The next one is charging by conduction. Next one is charging by conduction. In this method, when one charged body is touched with another uncharged body, then this electrons from this body, suppose this is A and this is B, electrons from this body get transferred into this body. It means that when one charged body is touched with the end of another uncharged body, then the electrons get transferred from A to B, means it also become negatively charged. Okay, so in conduction, when one charged body is touched with another charged body, then the uncharged body acquires the same charge of charged body. Okay, now the next one is charging by induction. Induction means induce, from the word induce, induction. Induce means excite, उकसाना, उत्तेजित करना. When one charged body, suppose this is positively charged body, okay, when one charged body is brought near the end of another uncharged body, then uncharged body acquires opposite charge of charged body. Means suppose here is positive charge, then here will be negative charge. Why? Because this positive charge will attract this negative charge and it will repel this positive charge. Okay, this is known as polarization of charge. Now, when we connect its other end with earth, this is known as earthing, this is the symbol of earth, then this positively charge get transferred into the earth. Now remove this body. When we will remove this body, then the electrons get distributed uniformly over this uncharged body. Now this body also becomes charged. But here in induction, you should notice one important thing is that when charged body is positive, then uncharged body will acquire negative charge. And when charged body consists negative charge, then uncharged body will develop positive charge. Okay. So this is induction method. So in induction method, when one charged body is brought near uncharged body, then uncharged body acquires the opposite charge of charged body. You all have understood? So there are three methods of charging body: friction, conduction and induction. In friction method, when one body is rubbed with another body, then both the body acquires opposite charge. One is positive, another is negative. The body which lost electrons acquire positive charge and the body which gain electrons acquires negative charge. In conduction method, when one charged body is touched with another uncharged body, then the uncharged body acquires the same charge of that charged body. In induction method, when one charged body is brought near the end of another charged body, then the uncharged body develops the opposite charge of that charged body. Okay. So you should keep this in your mind. There are three methods of charging body: friction, conduction, and induction. Yes, so students, till we have read, I have dictated in well manner on the board. You should write in your copy. Write in well manner, and you have to make proper notes, fair copy. It will be helpful in revising the topics properly. So you should write down. Now I'm going to erase. I think you would have written. You should write further. Electric charge. It is a fundamental property of matter on an intrinsic property of matter, or it is the additional property of electron or proton that give rise to electric force between them. It is a scalar quantity. Its SI unit is coulomb. Coulomb means it is denoted by capital letter C. You should write it. Okay, you should write the properties of electric charge. Unlike charge attract each other and like charge repel each other. It does not depend on velocity or speed. That is independent of speed or velocity. It is additive in nature. That is, magnitudes of electric charge can be added by direct simple method. The magnitude of positive and negative charge possessed by electron and proton is same, that is 1.6 into 10 to the inverse 19 coulomb. Okay, methods of charging body. Three methods. Friction method. In this method, two bodies when rubbed with each other, then one body having loosely held electrons acquire positive charge and other body having tightly held electrons acquire negative charge. Conduction method. In this method, when one charged body is brought in contact with another uncharged body, then the electric charge from the uncharged body, charged body get transferred into the uncharged body. Induction method. In this method, when one charged body is brought near uncharged body, then the uncharged body acquires charge opposite to that of charged body. Okay, you should also write this. Now students, we will read further Coulomb's law. Although it is not in your syllabus, but you should know something about Coulomb's law. Coulomb's law, this law was formulated by Coulomb. This law helps us to find out the magnitude of force acting between any 2-point charge. Means when 2-point charges are placed in any medium, then both the charge act upon each other with a certain magnitude of force. So that certain magnitude of force can be calculated using Coulomb's law. So Coulomb's law states that the electrostatic force of attraction or repulsion between any 2-point charges is directly proportional to the product of charges and inversely proportional to the square of distance between them, and acts along the line joining the center of two charges. What Coulomb's law states? Coulomb's law states that the electrostatic force of attraction or repulsion between any 2-point charges is directly proportional to the product of charges and inversely proportional to a square of distance between them, and acts along the line joining the center of two charges. Mathematically, we can write F proportional to, this is the sign of proportionality sign, proportional sign, Q1 into Q2. Here two charges, Q1 and Q2, placed in a medium. It is according to first part, it is directly proportional to product of charges. According to second part, inversely proportional to a square of distance between them. Means the distance between 2-point charges, the force acting between them is inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. When we combine both these equations, here you should write, by combining both the equation, we will get F directly proportional to Q1 into Q2 upon R square. Okay. Now here if I remove this proportionality sign, you should learn here one important thing. This is proportionality sign. This proportionality sign is always replaced with any constant value. So here the constant value is K. Okay. If you will remove this proportionality sign, then here it will be K, and if you remove this K, then here it will be proportionality sign. So F is equal to K into Q1 into Q2 upon R square. Here K is constant whose value is 1 by 4 pi Lipsian note, इसे हम बोलते हैं Lipsian note, और absolute permittivity of free space in vacuum is also equal to 9 into 10 to the power 9 Newton meter square per coulomb square. It is in vacuum. Vacuum means the place where no any material medium is available. K depends on nature of medium, means the force interacting between any 2 point charges depends on nature of medium. Means the force, the magnitude of force acting between Q1 and Q2 depends on the nature of medium where they are placed. If it is placed in vacuum or in air or in water or in any other place. Okay. So I think you would have understood Coulomb's law. You should write down. Yes, students, we have read that the SI unit of electric charge is coulomb. Now we should learn the definition of coulomb. What is 1 coulomb? So we have just explained this to define coulomb. Okay. So let us take 2 point charge Q1 and Q2 placed in vacuum at a distance R. This Q1 and Q2 are similar charge with same magnitude. So just we have read if vacuum barabar 9 into 10 to the power 9 into Q1 into Q2 upon R square. Just we have read Coulomb's law. Now if we will take Q1 into Q1 is equal to Q2 is equal to Q and R is equal to 1, then we will put when this value here, then we will get Q is equal to plus minus 1. Thus we can define that you should I have explained this is not important for you, but I have explained this so that you can learn the definition of coulomb in well manner, because the definition of coulomb can be asked in board exam. So 1 coulomb is that charge which repel an equivalent similar charge with a force of 1 coulomb is that charge which repel an equivalent similar charge, means Q1 and Q2 have same magnitude and they are both are positive charge which repel an equivalent similar charge with a force of means both the point charges are repelling each other with a force of 9 into 10 to the power 9 Newton. Where they are placed? They are placed in vacuum. And at what distance? At a distance of 1 meter from each other. So I have explained this only to explain the definition of coulomb so that you can learn it properly. So I think you would have remembered 1 coulomb is that charge which repel an equal and similar charge with a force of 9 into 10 to the power 9 Newton placed in vacuum at a distance of 1 meter from each other. Okay, you should write it. Now student, there is very important questions which is asked in board exams. Here the question is find out the number of electrons in 1 coulomb or how many electrons constitute 1 coulomb charge. Means you have to know the number of electrons in 1 coulomb charge. So we can calculate the number of electrons in 1 coulomb charge. Before this we have read one formula, that is quantization of charge Q is equal to Ne. Using this formula we can calculate the number of electrons in 1 coulomb charge, that is Q is equal to plus minus Ne. Here Q is equal to 1 coulomb and 1 electron is equal to 1.6 into 10 to the inverse 19 coulomb. Means in 1 electron the magnitude of charge is this. So putting this value we will calculate that here 1 coulomb is equal to N into 1.6 into 10 inverse 19 coulomb. Now we will calculate further, then we will get 10 upon 1.6 into 10 to the 18. Now if point will be removed, then there will be 100, and 100 upon 16 into 10 to the 18 means if you will divide 100 by 16, then you will get 6.25 into 10 to the power 18 electrons. Means here you have came to know that 1 coulomb is equal to 6.25 into 10 to the power 18 electrons. Okay, so very important. It may be asked in one marks or 2 marks. If it will be asked in board exam in 1 marks, then there will be only how many electrons constitute 1 coulomb charge. Then you should simply give 6.25 into 10 to the power 18 electrons constitute 1 coulomb charge. Or you can say 6.25 into 10 to the power 18 electrons always equivalent to 1 coulomb charge. Okay, so it is very important. You can also solve it by unitary method. That is, if a 1 coulomb charge, if a 1 electron is equal to 1.6 into 10 to the inverse 19 coulomb, then means amount of charge in 1 electron is this. So in 1 coulomb, number of this, the calculation will be same. You will calculate, then you will get same answer, 6.25 into 10 to the power 18 electrons. So you should write down very important questions. It may be asked in your board exam.